So, good day, Ma'am Galo. So, we are the Group 3 reporting about EDSA 2 Revolution, or also known as People Power 2. So, as you can see on our presentation, this is our topic, and we are going to report our presentation through video. So, before we proceed on that, allow me to introduce our group members. So we have 9 members on the group. First is me, Yspart Angielo Abing, and the rest are, we have Miñoza, Jade Maghuyop, Nemuel Bagalanon, Olymnes Peligro, Virador, Darel Collins Oro, Khim Nisle, and the last one is Ceros. So it is a peaceful uprising in Philippine history during January 2001. So what we are waiting for? Let's going to start our presentation. Let's go.
So, introduction. The EDSA 2 revolution, also known as People Power 2, was a peaceful protest that happened from January 17 to 20, 2001 at the EDSA Shrine. It aimed to remove President Joseph Hercito Estrada, or commonly known as Erap Estrada, from office due to accusations of corruption and illegal gambling. Thousands of Filipinos gathered, including civilians, religious groups, and government officials. Despite the tension, the protests remained non-violent. In the end, the movement succeeded and Estrada removed from power. This event showed the strength of unity and peaceful action in creating political change.
The background of the issue. Estrada, elected in 1998, faced accusation of corruption, receiving illegal gambling money, or adjuting. Testimony of Luis Chavez Singson, and decline in the public trust.
Impeachment trial. Impeachment began in late 2000. Trial conducted in the Senate, January 16, 2001. Refusal to open key evidence triggered national outrage. Joseph Estrada, the 13th President of the Philippines, 1998-2001, was ousted in 2001 by EDSA 2 revolution following corruption allegations. Subsequently convicted of plunder in 2007 but immediately pardoned, he later served 2 terms as Manila Mayor 2013-2019. After an unsuccessful 2010 presidential bid, marking a unique comeback in the Philippines.
So first, the beginning of the protest. The beginning of the protest marked a crucial moment in Philippine history. Large numbers of citizens started to gather at the EDSA Shrine, which is known as a historic and symbolic site for peaceful movement, especially during people power events. These protests were triggered by growing public dissatisfaction with the leadership of Joseph Estrada. Many people believe that there were serious issues involving corruptions, abuse of power, and lack of transparency in the government. So, because of this, trust in the administration began to decline. So, what made this protest powerful was the unity of different sectors of society. One of these is the students. Actively participated, showing the strong voice of the youth demanding change and accountability. Next is the professionals, including workers and business people, joined to express concern about the country's future and stability. The third one is the religious groups, such as press, nuns, and lay people, played an important role in promoting peaceful protest and moral guidance. And the main demand of the people was clear: ERAP design. This slogan became a unifying call for accountability and leadership change. It was not just about the person stepping down, but about standing up for truth, justice, and good governance.
So the role of
So next is the role of the military. The role of the military withdrew support from Estrada. At first, the military followed President Joseph Estrada because that is their duty. But as more people protested an issue against the president, the military began to lose trust in him. When they withdrew support, it meant that they no longer backed him as their leader. So this was a big deal because the president needs the military to stay in power. Then, led by Angielo Reyes, the decision was not random. It was led by Angielo Reyes, the head of the AFP or the Armed Forces of the Philippines at that time. When he announced that the military would no longer support Estrada, it influenced the military and soldiers to follow him. So his leadership gave others the courage to stand what they believe was right. Then the police and armed forces sided with the protesters. So instead of stopping and fighting the people in streets, the police and the soldiers chose to protect them. They stood with the protesters, showing that they were also part of the nation and cared about what was happening. So this helped keep them and keep everything calm and peaceful. So next is mark the turning point. So mark the turning point. This moment changed everything. When the military switches sides, it became clear that Estrada could no longer stay in power. So it gave hope to the people and pushed the situation towards a peaceful ending.
Outcome of Revolution. The outcome of Revolution 2001 Philippines, often linked to the EDSA People Power Revolution of 2001, also called EDSA II, marked a major political shift in the country. On January 20, 2001, then President Joseph Estrada left Malacanang Palace after days of mass protests, loss of political support, and pressure from key institutions like the military and judiciary. This effectively ended his presidency. Following his departure, Vice President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo was sworn as the new president. Her rise to power was supported by both civilians group and government institutions, signaling a transition of leadership without a traditional election. After stepping down, Estrada faced legal charges, particularly related to corruption and allegation of plunder. He was later arrested, tried in court, and eventually convicted, although he was later granted clemency. In summary, the revolution resulted in the removal of President Estrada of office, the installation of Gloria Macapagal Arroyo as a president, and last is the beginning of legal accountability proceedings against Estrada. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm the one to explain the ninth page conclusion. It's to proves that people can influence political change through unity and peaceful protest. It solves significant power of peaceful mass action, promoted accountability in leadership, and still debated in history. So EDSA 2 shows unity and peaceful protest drive change. Millions gathered non-violently, leading President Estrada to resign over corruption claim, reinforcing leadership accountability. It remains debated since by many as a democratic victory, while others question its adherence to formal constitution process. And that's all.
So, that is all our presentation. Thank you for watching, ma'am. God bless. Bye-bye.